Hey guys, I am so grateful that LEGO sent me the Avengers Tower to review early, and the review is on my channel now. In this video, I want to walk you through every single reference and Easter egg that's been hidden in the set, because there are a lot of them. So, if you want to see the full review going through all the minifigs and everything, that is on the channel now, but this is just breaking down the Easter eggs in the set, so let's get it. While this isn't a direct MCU reference, these little studs up top here make this 2 feet and 10 inches tall, which make it slightly taller than Gringotts Bank that came out this year, and it was designed by Justin Ramsden. Both sets had Justin on the team, so he made this one slightly taller. As we move down, in the top room here, we've got the Loki Scepter room, and we've got some interesting things going on here, particularly on these screens up here where you can see an Ultron helmet and the word Jarvis there, as well as this panel here that is scanning Loki's scepter. I'm not a big fan of these panels that they use, the translucent ones, because it does make the stickers difficult to see sometimes, but hopefully you can see them as I move the camera around here. Next floor down, you can remove these panels to get inside the building, and we'll take a look in here first. So you get to put a sticker on the floor that has Loki's minifigure silhouette there from where Hulk, bashed him into the ground. I guess for Hulk, it should be smashed him into the ground, but that is the puny god scene. We also get a little comic book here that references the very first Avengers comic book from 1963 and translates it with LEGO minifigures. So it would be really cool to get all of those classic Avengers in minifigure form someday. And over here, while not directly an Easter egg or reference, we do have these boxes which look familiar to some boxes we see when Tony is moving out of the Avengers Tower in Spider-Man Homecoming. Now, inside here, we've got Thor's party room, but I found that you could kind of just pull the Technic pins out of this window so that you could get a better look at the inside, and honestly you could play a little better on the inside too. So we have a sticker over here that says, "This just in, Hulk smashes again, and weather update, who is the Winter Soldier?" Then we've got the bar back there where we see, the Avengers getting a drink in Age of Ultron. On the newspaper that's sitting on the table, it's from the New York Bulletin, referencing the Battle of New York, but also the New York Bulletin is the newspaper from the Daredevil TV series on Netflix, so that's a neat little nod there. Of course, we've got Mjolnir on the table, and on this side, it looks more like a computer screen than a TV, and it says, "How to lift heavy stuff," obviously referencing the Avengers trying to pick up Mjolnir in Age of Ultron, but there's also a bunch of other stuff there too that says Asgard Cardio, Be an Ant, as well as the Hydra logo getting moved to the trash bin, and a little reference there to maybe even Disney Plus, where it says who is watching, Tony Stark, Steve Rogers, Hulk, or Thor Odinson. So definitely a lot of cool stuff here. And as we zoom out, you can see that there is a landing pad where you can put the Quinjet, but of course that's not really a reference. I just figured while we're looking, I might as well show you. Of course, we've got the Avengers A on the side, and as we move down, you can see that Tony Stark is falling out of the sky and having his Iron Man armor catch up with him, just like Avengers 2012. Moving down, you can see there's a part where Hulk is sliding down the windows and ripping some windows out along the way, which of course is referencing the 2012 Avengers movie. You can remove this entire front panel window, and that takes us inside where we've got lots more references to uncover. On the top floor, we have Loki's chamber, which was actually in the helicarrier in the first Avengers movie, and there are some stickers that are supposed to go on the elevator doors back there, but I put them on the first floor, and you'll see why when we get down there. In the corner, we've got Arnim Zola from the Winter Soldier on the computer screen, and we've got a newspaper here that says, "Who is the Iron Man?" And this is a LEGO recreation of the newspaper from the end of the first Iron Man movie back in 2008. Now, one major complaint I do have with the set is how dark it gets on the inside. I have a light right here blasting light into the set, but when you don't have a light like that, it is very dark on the inside, just so you're aware. Anyways, in Tony Stark's workshop here, you can see we've got tons of Easter eggs, mostly on these screens in the back. Starting with the left, we've got the little DNA panel, probably referencing the Hulk. Right above that, we've got a schematic of the Quinjet with Black Widow's picture on it. Then on this side, in the top right, we've got an arc reactor reading, and beneath that, you can see it says Loki and no match. Again, this is on one of those panels we saw on the top floor, so you got to look at them from certain angles sometimes to be able to actually read them. But this, of course, is referencing when they're trying to find Loki with facial recognition in the first Avengers movie. Moved this rescue schematic out front so it'd be easier to read, but this, of course, is referencing the rescue armor that Tony builds for Pepper Potts in Avengers Endgame. You could even see that it says work in progress because when Avengers Tower was around and being used, of course, this armor was not completed yet. My favorite Easter egg on this floor is the I Love You 3000 here, so it's pointing to the arc reactor, of course, the heart of any Tony Stark armor, and I think that that is so cool and so touching. In the back corner, you can see we've got a fire extinguisher, which is referencing so many LEGO Marvel sets before this, where the designers would put in fire extinguishers just as their own little inside joke. And next to that, we've got a Roxxon can, which of course is referencing Roxxon Corporation from Marvel Comics and even from the MCU, even though it's mostly just been in the background of the MCU. In the back corner, we have these Ultron blueprints, which I've moved up front so they'd be easier to read. You can see it says version 2.0 because the first version of Ultron is Mark 1, but back in 2015, the second version of Ultron, 2.0, used the kind of helmet that was seen here. On the bottom right, that looks like the Stark Industries logo, of course, just without the lettering. And in the top left, you see 1968 number 54, and that is referencing the year 1968 Avengers comic number 54, which was the first appearance of Ultron in a comic book. Our final reference on this floor is the proof that Tony Stark has a heart arc reactor that's kind of tucked away in that little column there, and that's going to wrap up this floor. Moving down a floor, we've got the glass walkway where Cap fights Cap in the past, and of course we've got a shield hanging up there because one of them loses a shield in the battle, and then we've got the America's ass scene right there. I can't believe that LEGO built that into the set, but they sure did, and it looks awesome. Now you can actually remove this middle walkway section so that you can see the back a little better, and of course we'll do that for this video, but before we go there, we've got a little computer here that says deploy, and that is referencing the Iron Man, falling from the sky here with the armor coming to him, so it's cool to see that on a computer screen referencing it in real time. One thing to mention is the elevator shaft in the back. Of course, I can't show you inside the elevator because it's not functional, it's just pieces to look like it, but there are all kinds of things inside, like in the dark gray areas up here, and basically what the set designer said is that Tony Stark was probably flying the Iron Man armor through there, and he's dropped some stuff along the way. So as you're building the set, keep an eye out for some of the things that Tony dropped in the elevator shaft. In the back of the second floor, we've got the medical bay where Helen Cho operates on Hawkeye on the table. We do have a yellow Infinity Stone there, I guess referencing Vision maybe, but we've also got an Iron Man schematic there with a arc reactor, and then underneath there we've got some medical supplies, and right above we've got the AI fight between the AI bubbles, if you will, of Ultron and Jarvis. So here we've got the ground floor, and there aren't a ton of references, but I will say, remember I told you about the elevator stickers? These ones are supposed to go up where Loki's containment unit is, but because of the containment unit, they'd be so hard to see there. So I put them on the ground floor, A, so that you could see them better, B, because there aren't a lot of details or references on the ground floor to begin with, and C, I just think that it makes so much sense that they'd be broken on the ground floor rather than all the way at the top floor. Anyways, we do get a relatively unique LEGO reference here with the Vita Rush vending machine. Vita Rush is a theme, or I guess a sub-theme, if you will, within LEGO, and you'll see this in like a lot of city sets and things like that, that this is like an energy drink company or something like that, and for some reason we get a PIM logo on the bottom here. If I were a designer on this set, I probably would have rather referenced the sodas from the Incredible Hulk that Stan Lee drinks, but hey, that's just me. As we move around back on the door, you can see that we've got a flyer for the Captain America exhibit, as well as an Avengers sticker on the back door that leads you into the first floor, and we've got Nick Fury's pager here, which of course he uses to call Captain Marvel in the post-credit scene of Infinity War. Around back, we also have a dumpster that has a shawarma wrapper in it, referencing the first Avengers movie, and there's a vial of PIM particles in there as well. Coming up from the trash can as we move up to this floor on the back of Tony's office, we have this reference here, which is a magazine we see in the first Iron Man movie. And finally, we've got two references at the front, one of which is the Battle of New York Memorial, referencing the 2012 battle, and over here, if we open up this trash can, you can see that there is a pack of gum on the inside, and one of my subscribers commented on my review video that this is a reference to the Winter Soldier. If you lift up the bench, you could see that the piece of gum has been stuck under the bench, which is quite clever. But this is a reference to the bubble gum where they put the USB drive in the Winter Soldier, which that went over my head. So it's always cool when you guys are eagle-eyed and pick up references. And I'd love to hear any references I might have missed that you picked up in this video. So drop a comment and let me know if I missed any. Alright guys, let me know what your favorite Easter eggs in this set were. There were so many, and it was so fun to break this down. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.